Hi, I'm Teyton Mendez, and today I'll be interviewing you. So, my first question is, why did you decide to run for mayor?
Well, I've lived in Alamo Heights, city of Alamo Heights for 40 some odd years. My kids went through the Alamo Heights program, and it's an opportunity for me to give back to the community. It's been good to me and my family. And with my background in real estate development, I felt that we could make some changes for the good and see it hopefully be good for the city.
That's great. Was there a specific moment or event that made you realize you wanted to be a mayor?
Well, I was on the Planning and Zoning Commission for 18 years and got to see a lot of the mechanics of how things were handled. And I just felt that at this stage of my life, I had time to be in more of a leadership role and try to build some consensus within the community to see some positive things move forward.
That's really cool. What is your day-to-day life as a mayor?
Well, I got several lives in the day. I actually am still in the commercial real estate development business, and being the mayor is not a full time job. However, where I am in my career, I've committed to make it a fairly full time job. Um, being in the mayor is receiving a lot of calls. Nobody really calls you to tell how wonderful things are. They call to tell you certain things that they would like to see changed. And it's really being a good listener and listening to people's thoughts. Everybody has good intentions, and to try to build consensus to work through these situations.
What accomplishments are you most proud of while being a mayor?
Keep in mind, I've only been mayor for 9 months, I'm really early into my term,
Yeah,
but I'm very proud that in a brief moment of time that we've had some great accomplishments. We've unified the garbage can collection within the city. We developed and implemented a new development program along Broadway, and we've worked through a lot of the logistics and the day-to-day operations.
that's great. What do you do as the mayor for our city?
I'm really the figurehead of the city. Our city is we have what we call a government council management form of government. The city manager, Buddy Kuhn, who is excellent, who we just renewed and extended his contract, runs the day-to-day operation, and he executes on behalf of myself and the city council on the direction that we feel the city is moving toward, and he actually does the daily operations of execution with his staff.
That's really interesting. How do you make tough decisions when people disagree?
The first thing you have to do is be able to make decisions. Not afraid to make decisions in the sense of knowing not everybody's going to be happy.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a situation where one side is happy and the other side isn't. You try to be a good listener. You
Hmm.
try to gather all the facts and the data, and then be willing to make a decision knowing that it's possibly not the decision that everybody wants, but it appears to be the decision for the vast majority. And then more importantly, after you make the decision, is to recognize that you could have made the wrong decision. So be a good listener. And if it was not the best or correct decision, not be so afraid to reverse course and make corrections.
Can you give me an example, if possible, of a recent disagreement you had to handle?
There's a very clear decision that had to be made that is, for those that live in Allen Heights, the Argyle has been on the hot seat for years on adding on, and it was a decision that has been going on for 3.5 years.
Hmm.
And we as a council did our hard work in meeting with the neighbors, meeting with the city staff, and meeting with the members and board of the Argyle to gather the information, and then we as a council made a decision to approve what is an SUP, a specific use permit, special use permit, and that decision was made in August, and the Argyle is moving forward.
That's great. What is the most surprising thing about being a mayor that you didn't expect?
How long it takes to get things accomplished. Coming from an entrepreneurial background, we don't have to listen to a bunch of people, and we don't have to go through the red tape. But in city government, you have to be a good listener. You have to do your due diligence. You have to visit with staff. You have to visit with the community and the affected parties, and in order to gather the information. And then by the time it goes through the process, it's a much lengthier process in government than it is in entrepreneurial work.
Who are the most important people you work with to make decisions for our city?
Obviously, my uh, 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 um, council members. We have 5 council members. We have a great city council.
Mm-hmm.
I personally feel in my 20 some odd years of being involved in Alamo Heights government, it's the strongest, most qualified council we've had. Uh, each individual has their own area of expertise, and we have worked very well together. And we really, as a city, are nothing without the leadership of our city manager, Buddy Coon, who has been with us now 6 years. Um, he 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 wears many hats, and unless you follow him on a daily basis, you'll have no idea or appreciate the complication and difficulty of his job. And we are there to help him in the direction we see the city to go. But he's the one that executes.
That's really great that you guys are all able to work so good together. Can you tell me about a certain time when they helped you or gave advice to make a really important decision?
You know, yes. Every time we go in the council chamber, every council person, as I said, has a different background, different expertise, and being a good listener and asking questions. But I think that listening is much more important than talking. And so, in listening to the council has been very important, and the council uh, has made some very tough decisions over the years, and I'm very proud of the decisions they've made.
Where do you see your city in 10 years?
That's a good question. Where we see our city depends on a couple of things. Depends on leadership, and it depends on funds to execute. We, as a city, are, um, we work under a budget, and our budgets are, constrained by the amount of property tax, sales tax that are generated, some other miscellaneous income streams. So I hope to see that Alamo Heights is growing in green space, open space for the community. I hope to see further development along our commercial corridor and Broadway. I hope and see that we can attack and find better ways to conserve water and work on new resources because water is an important part of all of San Antonio, and it's a limited commodity. And so we're working diligently to protect our water sources. Alamo Heights has its own water board, and we control our own water system. We are not under saws, and so water is a very important part of our future.
That's really great that you have all these visions. What specific changes or improvements would need to happen for our city to reach that vision?
Time, time, and as I said, we can't predict the council of the future, can't predict the mayor of the future. I think with the existing council and me being part of that, I hope that we will continue to work well together and execute on these projects that we have prioritized. And I think that hopefully that we can set the groundwork for future generations on the council and as mayor for the future to continue our vision, which is, as I addressed earlier.
Hmm. My final question is, what do you think our city does really well for kids my age?
Well, obviously, it's part of the city and it's part of the school district. I'm very proud of our school district. I have taken a lot of effort, time, and energy to get to know the foundation, the school board, and to get to know um, the superintendent. We have a great superintendent, Dr. Bashara. think our community is based on our youth. Youth is very important to the growth. I am getting ready to start a new program in Alamo Heights. It's going to be called the Mayor's Leadership Council. To qualify, you'll have to be a junior or senior in high school, but we will take students that will apply for the leadership council role to be interviewed by the principal and Dr. Bashara, where they will spend a school semester with us learning the inside of how government works, to where you all can be advocates of going forward in the growth of our city. And I'm very excited to start that. We'll start it next year. We're in the planning process now, but our youth is our future. And we the police and the fire and the city hall, um, they're there for our protection, for your protection. And I think every single aspect of our government, from what I've seen, is we're very lucky and very proud to have.
Those are all of my questions. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for having me. I
coming.
appreciate it.
Of
Thank you all.
course.